Good afternoon, World Wide Web. Welcome back to my stock channel. We have an update on a blast from the past, Shake Shack Inc. You remember this one? It was Wall Street's darling for a week back in 2014. It IPO'd at $20 and went up to like 40 real quick. Everybody thought it was the next big thing, and everybody was really early to the party. Yeah, it's at 71 now. It's gone up 54% since inception, and that took 9 years. So that's less than 3% per year you made on your money. People that put the really high PE things on things are very much running a risk. Obviously, you think, oh, but it'll be there in 4 years or no, not always. Hopefully the math will be pretty easy to work on with this one. They have exactly 400 locations now after almost 10 years. So they're opening about 40 locations a year, I guess, is the pace. I would have thought that pace would have greatened by now. But we can quickly see how much each restaurant does, hopefully. I'm not very smart, but with nice round numbers, it might be very possible. Let's see here. We got 20, we'll go to the latest quarter. March of 2023, $253 million in revenue. There it is. 253. They lost 1.53 billion. They're getting really close at not losing that much money. They're still a negative earner, but this looks like what they call an intentional negative earner. They just try to peg the number right around zero every single time, and they use the rest of their winnings to go buy more restaurants. So to fund the new restaurants, they strip themselves of all of their profit every quarter to grow. So that's how much they've grown over the last few quarters. This is how they've grown up annually. They kind of fell down, I guess, for COVID. That makes sense with the revenue. And we're getting nice growth from 900 million in 2022 all the way up from 2018 of 459 million. So in 4 years, they almost doubled the revenue. That's very important to note. They could show a profit at any time. They're just using that money to buy new restaurants. So don't sweat the why haven't they ever made any money thing. They're just, they got a thing going on here, and they're executing it by adding more restaurants. Negative 1 cent earnings per share. They're just trying to put it right on the nose. Net income negative 1.53 million, right about on the nose. What I wanted to see was the total revenue, which we just looked at per quarter. 400 restaurants, 253 million in revenue. How much is that per restaurant? Hang on 1 second. Let me get out my calculator. Teep, 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 teep. All right. Beep, 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 beep. $632,000 a quarter. That's how much each Shake Shack brings in. So about 210, 220 each per month per Shake Shack. Now, is that good or bad? Well, it's definitely at 50 points or better. And I would say, I don't know how much they spend on advertising. I don't see many commercials for Shake Shack. Do you? It just seems like it's a word of mouth thing, and it's as busy as it is. It's kind of self-generating, I think. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever seen a Shake Shack commercial. I never have. 200 and about 220 a month is what they do per store. The payroll for a store might be 10, 15 grand. The rent for a store might be 10, 15 grand. If they're doing it on 50 points, which I'm sure they're doing it on or doing better than, because they're selling that burger for $9. I'm pretty sure it's probably $3 of materials that they're serving you for your $9. Then the fries, they get those for 50 cents and they sell them to you for $5. And the Coke they get for 50 cents and they sell that to you for $4 or $3. But yeah, it's not a low margin items here. We're not talking about a McDonald's, quarter pounder. You can't get a burger at Shake Shack unless you spend $8.99. That's kind of the bottom of the barrel. If they have anything cheaper, it's very small, and it's not one of their real burgers. They're very salty. I ate the fries and the burger once. I only had it one time in my life. I heard so much about it for years, and finally I ordered some on DoorDash, and it was like a salt burger. I could barely I don't know. I drank like a gallon of water afterwards. I was like, I've never felt so salted out in my life. But maybe that's the New York style, and that's what people seem to be liking. But 220 per store, definitely very profitable. Definitely very profitable on the store level. I don't know which ones they need to close or whether they already have closed a store. Um, their annual revenue says they're going to just keep opening more stores. They're taking, and every time this gets bigger, then it just gets even bigger because now they have 400 stores to raid for $50,000 a month each for money to buy more locations. So if their number of locations, well, this doubled. So let's just assume their locations doubled in 40 years. Now their locations can double in 2 years, and their locations can double in 1 year. So if you do the math, when you put all your money back into new locations like this, it does multiply up nicely and really fast. So is it going somewhere? I don't know. Let's see what the earnings per share is. Let's see how overblown the stock is. They're not showing any earnings yet, but I think we can anticipate them or their ability to show maybe 200 million per quarter at this level. If they stopped opening new restaurants, we could anticipate that kind of a profitability somewhere around there. Well, I'm sorry, that's for the year. 200 million for the year would be about the cap for the company at these levels. Maybe 400 million tops, probably 200 to 300 million. And let's see how many shares they got outstanding. That'll be very telling. We'll find out exactly what this thing should be worth. 39 million shares outstanding. Not bad at all. Wow. Okay, so if they just calm down for a minute, if they just calm down for a flat minute and stop opening double the amount of stores every 4 years, or 1 year, 2 years, which is upcoming, if they were to calm down, yeah, they would have 200 million, and that would be at 40 million shares. 40 goes into 200. How many times? Is that 5? 5 times 4. I think so. Yeah, about $5 a share, earnings per share. Right now was what they're capable of throwing on the board if they wanted to throw it on the board. Operating expense, 337 million. That'd be all the restaurants. And that would be about half of the 800 would be operating expenses. And the rest of it would be either profit or the money that went to go open more stores. So there you have it. It's about a 50-point company, and that includes the rent, and that includes the employees, and that includes the food cost, rated at 50 points. Maybe better than 50 points. Maybe a lot better than 50 points. This is a kick-ass company, you guys. This thing's worth $5 a share right now. It's worth earnings per share. I'm sorry, $5 earnings per share. And a $5 earnings per share company probably should not be worth $71. You know what I'm saying? Disney might be like at 2 or something, and they're worth $100. And they're not growing like Shake Shack. This thing, they're going to quadruple their locations, and they're going to let the stock, the profit on each month, on each quarter, pay for it. This is their plan in motion, and it's just going wonderfully. I'm just so impressed. Is this thing going to be worth $10 a share in 2 years instead of 4 years because they can grow at twice the pace and they stay with the same program? I don't know. It very well could. I think we're looking at a $200-300 stock right now if they would just stop opening up new restaurants. Hopefully they'll stop while it's still a good business, so we can actually see, like be blown away by its earnings, or maybe eventually their earnings will eclipse their ability to build new stuff fast enough. I don't know if that's going to happen, or they'll pace it, or I don't know. Maybe the money overruns the cost of construction eventually. But yeah, they keep opening up new ones, and their stock yo-yos around. Let's see what's happened. After cannibalization fears subside, I guess they're going to dilute it. They didn't. The unstoppable Shake Shack wave will reportedly hit the Seaport next. Shake Shack stock tumbles 20%. And I guess, what day was that? Oh, Q1 loss tops revenue estimates. I'm sure it's topping the revenue estimates. And it's an intentional loss. They're putting up a loss on purpose to pay for their new locations. That's my guess. Let me look at the balance sheet. And their assets are growing up as they add their new locations. They're probably financing some of them too. But I'll bet you a good chunk of the money that they've made is going into these locations also. They're probably using a lot of their cash to renovate them, gut them out, to reconvert them. This is probably the real estate right here. These are probably their stores. And then this is the financing of those stores. They're nice and right side up. They slowed their pace of balances from 21-21 to 2022. Might have been a reaction to COVID, but maybe growth stymied a little here. Let's check that on the chart. No. Well, no. Looks like it went up just as well. And it looks like it went up just as well without them adding more assets, which either means that they just paid, well, no, if they paid cash for it, they would still have the asset. Yeah, the assets didn't jump like that, which meant that wasn't on account of a new location. That was probably on account of better business. So, I don't know. I feel like it's incredibly undervalued at this level, obviously. 39 million outstanding. I mean, what a great business. But the problem is when will they calm down and making new stores, or will it just keep going up on revenue? And why? And then why hasn't it just gone up and up and up and up? What's with all this? Let's see what this news was. The collapse news. What was it? Out of COVID, Shake Shack has cash to become a juggernaut. Yeah, that news caused it to take a fart. And I don't know what else did, but I don't know what the bad news is. Leave it in the comments below if you know any bad news on this company. What'd they do wrong? Something happened where this thing is not, they're doing $220,000 a store. Their revenue looks like it's never stopped. Let's see if it's slowed down this year. Maybe that's why. Let's see if quarter over quarter reduced. Maybe they just haven't opened anything that, yeah, it kind of flattened out. I don't know, from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, it still looks pretty good. But it kind of did it in a roundabout fashion. And I think that might have just freaked people out. Let's see the longer chart. That is the longest chart. So let's just go to 1 year. Yeah, 1 year solid. Boom, 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 boom. Climbing a ladder. And the 5 year is the big yo-yo. But the 1 year looks like it's finally decided, okay, yeah, this is happening. You know what I mean? And it's just gone from 40 to 71, as nice and steady as you would have expected it to go the entire time. I'm surprised that was such a rough road for them. I think they only had a few dozen restaurants when they IPO'd. It was kind of a joke that they IPO'd with only a few restaurants. They used to be a hot dog stand in New York. Can't say anything. Can't say anything bad about Shake Shack. I got them at $3 to $5 earnings per share right now. If they just stop opening new stores, but you want the growth to continue. But the problem is you're not going to be able to truly cash out on that big earnings per share until they show it. And are they going to show it anytime soon, or do they want to get to 5,000 locations? And if so, that's going to take another 10 years. So long term, I would go eat some Shake Shack if you really love it. If you feel like it's addictive food, and people are always going to buy burgers, this is obviously right up in the best of class. You've got to give this one a chance. I don't know. It just seems like they're just going to keep opening up more locations. And the year over year on each location, I have no idea. That's probably, people are probably fussing over that along the way. But 220 average each, that's strong. That's strong for a location. That's I think $5,000-6,000 a day through the register. That's kind of a lot. That's a lot of damn burgers. That's like selling 800 burgers a day per location. They're plenty busy. They've got plenty of foot traffic, plenty of people walking in the door. I don't feel like they have a big ad budget. I think all their money is going to buy new locations. And I sense this thing keeps going up, at least to 200. And even that's even if they kind of hit Skid Row and have to stop opening new locations or something, it's still going to 200. They're going to have to reveal the earnings per share at some point. They might slow down for a quarter. If they just stop for one quarter and show it, man, that'd be cool. Just say, hey, everybody, look at this. $3 earnings per share in one quarter, and then just get right back to work, putting up new locations. You'll see this thing go right to $300 or $250. And yeah, Shake Shack, it looks like it's happening. It's just really slow. My God. And then how long do you have to wait? And then will it continue to go up? I guess 81% year over year wasn't that bad. 6 months, 53%, not bad. 1 month, 6%, not bad. 5 days. You just haven't been able to go wrong all year long. Maybe it found its stride. In 5 years, you went up 3%. You didn't want to hold this one for 5 years. From the beginning, you probably didn't want to hold it. You only made 3% per year. But if you held it this year and just started it at the beginning of a year ago, you did pretty damn good. You made 81% on your money. Wow, you got this thing for $50 or $40. You got to be pretty proud of yourself. Don't sell it. Hang on to it. This thing's going to be worth hundreds. And then if they do get to 5,000 locations and they're all like this, yeah, this thing could be worth thousands. This could be the next Chipotle. They got the right alignment. They got the right numbers. They got the right plan. They're putting it together. This could be the next Chipotle. Anyways, thanks for watching the channel. Please like it and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thumbs up for Shake Shack. It's going to be real hard for them to hurt this earnings per share that they have going on here with these earnings. The 39 million outstanding shares. How much cash do they have before I go? For $300 million. Yeah, that they don't need, because they make money every single quarter, and then they just throw up a little fake loss just to entertain us. But wow, that's impressive. Okay, Shake Shack did what they said Shake Shack would do, so I'm shooken. Have a wonderful Saturday. We'll see you on the next one.